Welcome back to another Phill-osophy Arc episode. This evening, I'm covering the topic of becoming a man. Do we become men when we turn 18 or 21? Or when we get a car license and are able to vote? Do we become a man when we have children or become an uncle? Truly a question for the ages. Some tribes and peoples have the thing where they build a giant tower and they tie tree roots to their ankles and all the men leap off. The ones who survive are considered men. And the ones who don't, well, that's just nature and survival of the fittest in their cultural society. Other countries have rites of passage. Many of us have ways that we grow up in society and become men. But mostly in this modern age, fathers take their sons hunting for the first time, or to spear a pig, or to catch a fish and then pass it to their son, or the son catches a fish, say, and he smacks it on the head, and the father goes, "Good job, son, we're going to go cook that up and make dinner. I'll ready the campfire." We no longer really have rites of passage, and it's a shame because a lot of us men were unequipped, and some of us still are. My personal rite of passage when I became a man, and I knew and realized it, was that when the world was not there for me. I was up the creek without a paddle, and I had to do it all myself to get myself out of trouble, and I still turned up for a meeting and a Christmas lunch that I promised to turn up for. The exact situation of becoming a man was getting a work vehicle for a client, an $8,000 something spray unit and a $2,000 something work truck four-wheel drive. The spray unit was of course full of 200 litres. And I got that thing stuck in a bog, which I thought was the perfect flat ground. It was not. It was a muddy quagmire of despair, and for the next 2 hours I thought, hey, I can get myself out of here. And after I realised I couldn't, I decided to call a friend for help. And I believed at the time that I did not have enough credit on my phone, so I called this friend and I said, "Mate, if you don't hear from me, tell my landlord where I am at the location we dumped the hay bale and I got my nickname in town. He'll know the exact spot." And he texted me back 3 hours later, and my next phone call just after that was, "You do not have enough credit." So anyway, I dug drainage channels for that vehicle, and I dug channels underneath the car tyres and everything. First of all, to start off with, I need to backtrack a bit, is I did spray every blackberry around me. Then I stripped off my PPE gear and everything, and then I got shoveling. So I had a bottle of beer that I found in the car with a cap on, and 2 half bottles of water that I found under the seats, and then I had a bottle of water of my own and half a sandwich left over. So I knew at least if I was going to sleep in that spot, I wasn't going to die. And that was good enough for me. So I started digging, and then I found a wood splitter in the boot. And if anybody knows about chopping down dead trees, wood splitters aren't exactly an ideal tool. So I went half a kilometre up the hillside into the bloody mountains just about, and I started chopping down dead, dried up old crusty gum trees. Then I brought them back down the mountain, dragged them in fact, and I split them. And I split them for hours and hours of digging, and then eventually I was able to wedge these big planks that I'd made under the car tyres in a nice formation perfectly to get it out of there. And then I dug my drainage channels deeper and drained out all the water. I got in that car, I prayed to the universe and my ancestors and my own ingenuity, and then I turned the ignition, started the car, drove up onto a patch of dry land across those planks, and dry land was only 1.5 meters away. Then I put that puppy into a U-turn after carefully mapping out dry land and putting twigs in the ground. So I just drive at that twig and run it over. And when I got myself out of there, I dusted myself off and cleaned the mud off my boots, as I was up to my bloody knees in mud at that point. I rinsed down the work vehicle, the spray unit, everything, and packed up. And dead tired, I was still able to get home, pack the car, and get down to that Christmas lunch. In the end, I was only half an hour late. But that was when I realised I'd become a man, because I had no one else and nothing, and I had reached out to the universe and it had screwed me fatally. Now, everyone get out there, find your man journey, and when the moment that you realise you become a man is the moment that you realise nothing's going to stop you. And hey, most of the time, nothing will ever be there for you to help you. But we have ourselves and we have each other. Catch you later. Hey, Future Racer here. If you're finding the Phill-osophy Arc series inspirational, educational, entertaining, humorous, or it's giving you a little smile, think about liking and subscribing. If you have a family member, loved one, or friend who you think could equally benefit from this series, think about sharing it with them.